This is John from the Dirty South down here in Alabama.
Welcome, John. Like I said, once you join, unmute yourself, let us know where you're calling from. Everyone should be really excited for this training. It's coming right. What does they say? Timing is key. This training is coming in at the right time.
Sam being in Houston, Texas, guys.
Mr. Bean is in the building.
Jeremy Dennis, Festus, Missouri.
Right after Jeremy Dennis. How you guys doing? Welcome.
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
Hi, this is Barbie from Arizona.
Welcome, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
I'm Jacqueline from Michigan.
Welcome, Jacqueline. If you don't have your team on here, get them on here. This is a call that they need to be on. This is a impromptu team building call that is going to be led by our president. And there's going to be enormous push this year for team building. And there's going to be some valuable information on these trainings. Now, we always record these calls, but there's nothing like getting on a call live, getting your team on live. Join, unmute yourself, tell us where you're calling from, and then kindly go back on mute.
Yo, this is Jimmy calling in from Florida.
Welcome, Jimmy.
Sabrina, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Sabrina.
This is Brad in
Event happening
Illinois.
in Texas. Is that Brad?
Yes, sir, in Illinois.
Hey, Brad, welcome.
Jason, Pennsylvania.
Welcome, Jason.
Ruben from Denver.
Welcome, Ruben. We got an
Shannon from
exciting
Maryland.
week going. Sorry, go ahead. Tell me who you where you're calling from.
Shannon from Tampa.
Shannon, welcome.
Adriana from Maryland.
Welcome from Maryland. Jessica from Colorado Springs, welcome.
Roy from St. Louis.
Welcome. What?
Tim Neal from Puerto Rico.
Welcome, Tim from Puerto Rico.
Erica Neal from Puerto Rico.
Welcome, Erica.
All right there. I'm an artist, DMV, Virginia.
Welcome, Emma.
Thank you, thank you.
Linda from the U.S. Virgin Islands. St. Croix.
Welcome from the Virgin Islands.
Next door. Next door.
Philip from Jacksonville, Florida.
Welcome, Philip.
Jonathan Franco, Northern California.
Welcome, Jonathan. Now get your text messages out to your team. We're going to be learning about building today. We're starting the weekend off building. Friday, today is Friday. We got the president teaching us about building. I think we got some events happening this weekend too. On Sunday, we got some realtors, some people that have been in the realtor business for decades. And now they've added solar to their division. And I think, am I wrong, Mr. Bean? Do you have an event happening tomorrow in Texas also? I think so. We're having a jam-packed week.
Yes, he does. Out in Houston, the cash flow event.
Yes. So if you got people that you don't even know in Texas, get to know people in Texas and send them to that event. You got people.
Yeah, Gabby Tove, Orlando, Florida.
Gabby in the building. How you doing, Gabby? Welcome.
Fantastic. Now that the Florida weather's back.
So as you notice, More events are starting to happen. What does that mean? Momentum is carrying into this year. Event after event after event. Get your face, get your ears on the phone to listen to these events. Get your face on the cameras. If you don't have your cameras on and you're in a place where you can have your cameras on, turn your cameras on. If you can't, that's fine. We understand. But if you can, respect the leaders that are spending their time on these calls. Put your face on it so they can see the reaction when you are excited about the information that's being passed. We're not on stage, but we are on stage. This is a virtual stage.
Recording in progress.
Chris,
And
how
we
you
know
doing, my brother?
if you're driving, you can't put your face on, I understand. But if you're not, you should be here. Now get your last minute text on. I'm gonna check to see, Mr. Rangel, are you ready to get going? Okay, now
Sure.
everybody put your seatbelts on, strap on, get ready for this ride because we're 1 month in, and if you're not paying attention, we were the #1 dealer under Freedom. I don't know if you guys saw that. Now, the devil is in the details. We're the #1 sub dealer. I'm not going to go into that, but hey, #1 dealer sounds better. You don't have to explain all that. Just say we're the #1. #1, we got international products launching in less than 30 days. And we want to put you in a position to be a thousandaire, millionaire, 7-figure, 6-figure earners. And we're being led by that. Mr. Rangel is going to be teaching us how to team build. He's led teams in several different industries: credit repair, home security, solar. Made it to the top, back to the bottom, back to the top again. So all of us that are going through struggles of not being able to make it, this year is coming off tough. I'm coming off a rough year. This is the time you want to take notes. You want to listen because we're listening to people that have been at the top of the mountain, fell off, decided that they didn't want to stay at the bottom and climb back up. And that's one of the president of our company is doing that. We have millionaires that are doing these trainings, so we have to respect their time. I was at a company, I was a VP of sales at a company that crumbled. And I just so happened to be texting JC at the time. That company was crumbling. And I didn't even know JC. I knew of JC at the time. Me and him were just texting back and forth. I said, hey, I'm following you. I see you're doing successful. Can you give me some tips? He said, my time is a lot. It's worth a lot. A lot of companies pay a lot for my time. But here's some small nuggets. I'll do this and do that. And by the way, I said, congratulations on your millionaire jacket. He said, oh, by the way, here's some more tips. Here's that. And just so happened, Build was launching right around the corner. My company shut down and Build started. So it was meant to be. So get your pens and pencils, recorders. We're recording, we're going live because this information that we're going to be listening to is crucial. Yeah, Jabari, I never told you that. My company shut down and I was in communication with JC at the time. He said, the video's not out yet. I said, come on, man, give me the video. It's not out yet. He said, wait, just stand by. And it just so happened, as you all know, I follow up. I put it on my calendar. He said, call me in 2 weeks. I put it on my calendar. I called him in 2 weeks. Hey, Chris is not ready yet. Call me in 2 weeks. I called him in 2 weeks again. Finally, he sent me the videos in Vimeo. Watched them. I said, where's the link to sign up? I missed the other organization. I didn't follow you. I didn't join your team there, but I'm not missing it this time. So I'm here. And we have other strong leaders like that. So I'm taking too much time. I'm going to give it back to JC, but I wanted to let you guys know that the leaders in this organization, like myself, follow strong leaders like JC. We follow Mr. Bean because we know that they're made more money than us. They're smarter than us. They've done things better than us. So why would we not listen to them? So I'm going to hand the stage off to greatness. I'm going to get my pen and pencil ready because I need to build a large team this year. And no other than Mr. Rangel can teach us how to do that.
All right. Wow. Chris, thank you very much. And thank you for taking me down that trip of memory lane because it was awesome to And I remember that follow-up. Idris was a similar situation. Idris, what's interesting too is that you were local, right? So then you kept following up. And I remember that first presentation, such an ugly presentation, man. but you also understood it's a new company, right? I probably also mentioned, hey, obviously this is our first PowerPoint, bro. It's not going to be the sharpest, but you'll get the gist of it. And then I remember Idris was one of the guys too that he contacted me about the pre-launch. I want to go to the pre-launch, and it just got stuck in my messages. I never even got to it. But he saw the flyers and flew himself from New York to California for the pre-launch event, which, by the way, February 17th is our 1-year anniversary from our pre-launch event. So, anyways, again, thank you for taking me down that memory trip road, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I wanted to do. We are overdue for a team building recruiting training. So I will let you know this. We've got trainings Mondays, right? Some of you guys attend both trainings on Mondays. Some of you guys attend on trainings on maybe one of the trainings on Mondays. The Millionaire Mentor Zoom, right? The sales training, at 10 a.m. Pacific. But a recruiting training, how many of you guys can agree that we could use more recruiting specific and team building specific trainings? Put a number 1 in the chat or write me in the chat if you agree that that is the case. Okay, so first and foremost, I take full responsibility for that. I should have made this happen sooner. But hey, listen, you can't unscramble scrambled eggs. So we're here now and we're going to get it going. So here's what we're looking to do. We don't know that it's going to be every Friday. It may be every Thursday morning. It may be every Friday morning, and it may be every other week. I'm guessing it'll probably start with every other Thursday, okay? And then as we continue to grow and as the demand continues, then it might become a weekly thing, right? But anyways, today I'm going to give you an overview, okay? A lot of it is mindset, and we're going to go through a lot of information. But the rest of the weeks, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take like one subject and elaborate on it for 30 minutes to an hour. Every training will be 30 minutes. For example, it might be 3-way calls, 30 minutes to an hour. Here's how you do a 3-way call. Here's what 3-way calls are for. Let's role play a little bit. Another one might be specifically on scripts. Another one might be specifically on launching a person properly, right? You have to understand that most people don't think about this, about becoming a professional in the field. Most people are in the industry. I'm here to make some extra money, and I know that I should recruit and sell. And that's about most people don't even think about how they're thinking about it, but unconsciously, how do you think about your business? For example, when I started in the solar industry, it was a solar/team building model, right? It was a very simple team building model, like not a very complicated comp plan. So therefore, it didn't really pay a whole lot of money, but nevertheless, it was team building. But when I joined that, I already knew my identity has been for a long time, over a decade. My identity has been, I am a professional team builder. I am a professional network marketer. But because it was solar, something new, I said, I'm going to become a professional solar pro. I'm going to become a solar pro. I'm going to become a professional in the solar industry, because one thing I loved about the high ticket, and we don't just have solar, right? We have other high ticket items. The high tickets of solar can make me 6-figure, multiple 6 figures, possibly even 7-figure income off my own effort. I love that. So I said, I don't ever have to rely on a team if I don't want to, but I love team building. So there's a couple, I'm going to give you guys some nuggets here today, and we're going to kind of go through recruiting and team building and philosophy, okay? Because this is an introduction to this training. So with that being said, the biggest team I've ever built in my career is 120,000 people. At my last company, the question is, how many people did I personally recruit in a 3.5-year period? I was a number one in 2021, which was my first full year. I was a number 1 recruiter in that company. I was also the number 1 mentor. I recruited that year like 67 people, I believe. Personal. And I sold 116 solar deals that year, right? So number 1 recruiter out of 6,000 or 7,000 people, and number 1 mentor sales. I did that again in 2022. I tell people, when people would ask me, wow, that's a lot of sales. How do you do that? I said, there's no secret. I'm the #1 recruiter, right? Recruiting is the reason why I made so many sales. You've got, but some of you guys don't even have a goal for how many people you want to recruit. Some of you guys don't even go into the day thinking of who you're going to call, working your list. Some of you guys, look, put a #1 in the chat. It doesn't matter if you agree or not, but put a #1 in the chat if you want me to be brutally honest. Put a #1 in the chat. And if you don't want me to be brutally honest, I'm going to be brutally honest anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. Generally speaking, the broker of a Remax office or Century 21 office makes more money than the agents, generally speaking, right? Because he or she has leverage. You need to make a decision. If you want to be a better recruiter, you got to make a decision. I am going to become a professional recruiter. I am going to become a professional in this chosen field. Most of people in network marketing have never even made that decision. Listen, man, trust me when I tell you, I am giving you 7-figure mindsets. Your mindset when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to sales, when it comes to doing business, when it comes to competing. Like my son's competing this Sunday at a tournament, right? He's 1 pound over. So we're not eating any carbs, any sugar, right? And we're doing extra work. He woke up 30 minutes earlier today to get on the treadmill just to walk in a fasted state, right? It's a mindset thing. Most people don't even think about the mindset that they have. So most people here, you don't even have a list of 100 people to call. Now, I will say this to you. Unless you moved here less than a year ago from a foreign country, you know 100 people. That doesn't mean that you keep in touch with these 100 people. That doesn't mean that they've heard from you recently, you've heard from them recently. That's not what that means. It means that you have a list of 100 people. Minimum. You want to be a recruiter. Now, here's the thing. The reason why most of you guys don't, a couple of reasons. #1 is procrastination. Most people don't have a list of 100 people because of procrastination. #2, it's also because they don't want to get rejected. #3, they're prejudging a bunch of people. I am guilty of that last year. My friend Robert, he's working right now. He can't get on. At this time he's at work. My friend Robert Vasquez is a person that invited me into network marketing for the first time. My first ever sponsor in network marketing, September 2001. September 2001, right? And I try to recruit him throughout the years, and he never joined any company ever. He did one company, never did anything after that. So I just kind of stopped recruiting him. I just stopped prospecting him. We kept in touch. He became my solar customer 3 years ago. I sold him solar. And I'm embarrassed to say that it didn't even cross my mind to, at the very least, give Robert a call and say, hey, Robert, how's it going, man? How's your solar system doing? Oh, it's going good, bro. Blah, blah, blah. Small talk, blah, blah. Great. Well, listen, Robert, reason why I'm calling you, bro, is this. I know that we've had similar conversations like this in the past, and the answer's always been no. But that's okay. I want to have this conversation with you one more time. Obviously my pitch is a little bit different, right? But what I would say if I was one of you is I actually started with a new company in the solar industry. It's a high ticket sale division, solar security water, and we're expanding. It's a brokerage. I wanted to ask you if you are open to a side business that can generate you some additional income, especially if it doesn't interfere with what you currently have going on. See, I should have done that, but I didn't. You know why? Because I prejudged him, because for years he told me, no, 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 no. To my surprise, he messages me and tells me that he's doing some stuff with trading. He's trading and he's making some money with trading. Hey, congrats, bro. And he says, do you know anything about this, about that? I was like, I really don't know. I'm not much of a trader. I know very little. He's like, oh, okay, good. And I felt like the call with him was a little bit longer than usual, almost like he was lingering around on the call. And I had things to do. And then that was that. We end up hanging up. Then he texts me. This is rare, by the way. Then he texts me, by the way, man, if you know of ways for me to make extra money because I'm looking to invest more money into my trading, let me know. And I write, bro, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. This is what I do, bro. LOL. You got to look at my company. You got to look at what we do. He says, yeah, man, send me some information. I sent him a video. Here's my point. It's rare that somebody's going to expose himself, right? That sounds weird, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It's rare that somebody's going to say, hey, listen, pitch me, send me info. But if I wouldn't have prejudged them and I would have just called, I would have got the same result and I would have felt better about it. Oh, snap. And then the story would have been, I finally, after 20 years, recruited Robert. He recruited me in 2001. 24 years later, I recruited him. That would have been a better story. But guess what? I prejudged them. I stayed in my comfort zone. So here's tip number one. I want you to write this down. Top recruiters and team builders live, keyword, live outside of their comfort zone. I'm going to give you meat and potatoes, but I got to get you the mindset first. Some of you guys may not understand. Why is he telling so many stories? Listen, we got about another 40 minutes to go. We got plenty of time to go. But the story, I think a lot of you guys, when you hear the story, you know, some of these stories and some of these examples I'm going to give you, some of you guys are going to feel like, oh, I can relate to that. Oh, I can relate to that. Oh, I didn't see it that way. Now I understand. Now I know what I got to change. Top recruiters and top team builders live outside of their comfort zone. Top recruiters and top team builders do a couple things. I'm going to give you 5 quick steps to building. Step number 1, you got to have an active candidate list. Step 1, you got to have an active candidate list. Means a list of potential prospects. Prospects for recruiting, prospects for selling. Your prospect list for recruiting. We're talking about recruiting and team building here, right? Your list for recruiting should be at least 100 people. Like I mentioned, unless you came from a foreign country, and even if you came from a foreign country, we're going international soon. Guys, ladies and our membership, our $99 membership is going to get beefed up like you have no idea because it has to go international. Let me give you a little something that we're going to share with the leadership group we're flying like 15 leaders in next week to California to have a leadership retreat. Our membership, the $99 membership, in addition to the high ticket brokerage and all the benefits, the CRM and all that stuff, it's going to get beefed up big time. Okay. We are literally creating the ultimate lifestyle, the ultimate business and lifestyle membership. Meaning, here's what I mean. Even if we didn't have the high ticket brokerage, solar, security, water, let's say we did not have that, the membership on its own will recruit a lot of people. Think about that. And it has to be that way to attract people in other countries. Because think about it, people in Mexico, Latin America, Europe, Asia. We're not going to pitch them, come and sell solar and security and water to your friends and family in America. That would not be a strong enough pitch. Therefore, the $99 membership has to get beefed up to a point where we are making it work. Listen, you have a Netflix subscription, you have a Spotify subscription, you have an Amazon Prime subscription. We live in the era of subscriptions. We are creating the most powerful subscription ever created. The ultimate business, money-making, and lifestyle membership. I am so excited about this. That on its own is going to be worth it. And guess what? That membership to a lot of your people will call their attention more than the high ticket brokers did. Because there's some people, solar, they think sales, I can't do sales, I'm not a salesperson, and they shy away from it. But wait a minute. You mean to tell me that I get this and 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 it virtually costs me nothing because at the end of the year, I get a free vacation valued more than what the membership cost me throughout the year? But if I refer for, I pay no more, plus I got all these other benefits. Wait a minute. That's my point. So I say that to say this as well. Make your list of 100 people. You're not gonna listen, you're not gonna get to 6 figures a year in team overrides or residuals if you don't at least have a list of 100 people that you work the list. Okay. The next thing, step one, have an active candidate list of 100 people minimum. Number 2, constantly expand that list. Constantly expand that list. You got to be adding to the list. Everybody here should be a builder. If you are a builder, you get a CRM. The builder membership, if you go to dripcrm.com, DRYP, CRM.com, we've partnered with Drip. Drip has a $99 CRM. Okay. You as a builder get that for free. I've been paying since 2020 for Lions Desk CRM. I think I pay $85 a month. And it's not as good as Drip CRM. I don't have to pay that anymore because I got my Drip CRM. So check this out. I haven't seen a network marketing company that'll give you a legitimate CRM. Prospects for water, security, solar, the business, existing team. You could add them all to the CRM. So you could follow up. For example, my friend Ruben is on here. I call Ruben. Ruben just started like 2 weeks ago. And Ruben's going through certification and Fast Start right now. And I called him. I said, Ruben, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Ruben, I know short notice. I don't know if you've seen the notifications, but I've got a recruiting training happening right now. If you got your active candidate list there, we're going to create some workflows where you got your core group. So you're going to have your core group. Anybody that's core, you got them there. The rest of your team, boom. A players, B players, C players. So you see who the most serious people are that you as a leader are in communication with. And we're going to be training on stuff like that. Matter of fact, days like these, we're going to be training on stuff like that. So for that 90 membership, there's so many benefits that you get. How many guys were on the Smart Money Club yesterday, by the way? The Smart Money Club training, okay? The value that you get is amazing, okay? Some of you guys are going to make a lot of money with this business. You need to know what to do with that money. So anyways, going back to the steps. Build an active candidate list. Number 2, constantly expand that list. You should always be adding. You know why? Well, I don't want to skip to step number 5. Number 3, you need to raise your awareness. Raise your awareness. In other words, you have to always have your business hat on. You go to a restaurant, the waiter gives you good service. You got to have your hat on to expose them, to ask them, have your business cards on you. They say that the average person exchanges money twice a day. That's 2. And here's one thing I teach about the 10 core commitments. You got to do 2 exposures a day. You want to be a top recruiter? I want you to write this down. One of the most key things, one of the biggest golden nuggets I'm going to give you here today. You've got to make it a habit of exposing 2 people per day. How many of you guys have a habit of brushing your teeth every day? Put a number 1 in the chat. I want to see who are the people that I don't want to tell me secrets. Put a number 1 in the chat if you have a habit of brushing your teeth on a daily basis. Now, let me ask you this. What if you went out to dinner on a Friday night and you guys Ubered home, you had some adult beverages, and you're just extremely tired, and you get home, and it's late, 2-3 hours later than you usually go to sleep, you really don't want to brush your teeth. Are you still going to brush your teeth? Yes. You know why? Because it's a non-negotiable, and it is a habit. So now step number 3 is to raise your awareness, meaning always be looking for new prospects. Professional team builders and professional recruiters are always adding to their list. They're always finding new candidates. Because when we contact these people, we are not emotional about it. I'm going to give you a side note tip. You want to become a great recruiter and presenter and build your confidence at the same time. This next tip is going to help you do those 3 things. Become a great recruiter, great presenter, and build your self-confidence. How many guys want that tip? Great recruiter, great presenter, and build your self-confidence. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Now, it's not easy, but it's not hard. Takes work. Here's a tip. You have to show the plan at least 100 times in 2025. In the next year, let's call it. In the next year, you've got to show the plan 100 times. Whether it's on a one-on-one at a Starbucks, one-on-one via Zoom, Zoom launch, group presentation, you got to show the plan. I'll give you an example. I still do this today. I called my friend Nancy 2 days ago. Nancy, I worked with Nancy for the first time in about 2007 or 2008 in a network marketing company. So long time friendship. I call Nancy. Nancy, how's it going? Small talk, blah, blah, blah. Listen, what are you up to these days, Nancy? Nancy says, oh, I'm not really doing much, JC. And she's laughing. I'm on vacation in Mexico right now. I'm not really doing much. I said, weren't you investing in real estate and doing some flips? She says, yes, I was, and I am. But you know that it's slow, right? It isn't like there's always properties to buy. And frankly, I'm not doing a whole lot. I do that here and there. I said, okay, that's cool. By the way, Nancy hasn't done network marketing in like 5 years. She used to be all in network marketing. I said, well, look, I thought I'd give you a call. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? We are getting ready to go international with our company and things are going very, very well. Are you at all still open to network marketing? If you are, I'd love to buy you a coffee, show you what we got going on. If you're still open, I'd love to meet with you. I totally expect for her to say either no or yes. No, neither of them would be a surprise to me. She says, hey, listen, I'm always open to listening about business. Why not? I'm in Mexico now. Why don't we meet sometime next week? I said, sounds good. Next week, I'm going to follow up with you around Wednesday and we'll schedule a time to meet because that's when I'm going to be available. So whether it's late next week or the week after, but we'll put it on the calendar. Does that sound fair enough? She says, that sounds fair enough. Guess what? At that point, you put it in your calendar. You put it in your CRM. You find the way that what you got to do to follow up. I don't want to meet with her via Zoom. She's 40 minutes away from me. I will drive the 40 minutes but I will suggest that we meet somewhere, halfway. I still do in-person meetings with people. I'll sit down with her and show her the plan. Even if she says no, doesn't matter. Remember I said you got to show the plan 100 times? I did that in 2008. In 2008, when I was no, not 2000. Yeah, actually 2008. That was before the coffee boom, before the coffee company. I was selling skincare, mud masks, Dead Sea products from the Dead Sea. Okay, skincare. Imagine me selling skincare. Okay, and I didn't like it. Ignacio was a part of that company too, so he knows what I'm talking about. We would put mud on half of the person's face, then they take it off and it looked great. The other half, they look like Two-Face from Batman, right? The other half looked good. One half did look good. They're like, man, can I do another set? Well, you got to buy the product. My point is, I did not feel comfortable selling that product like I do these products, right? Talking about those products, pitching those products like I do these products. Anyways, in 2008, I was doing 2 through 3 presentations every single day at a Starbucks in person, no Zoom. There was no Zoom in 2008. 6 days a week, 2 to 3, 2 to 3, 2 to 3, 2 to 3. I made a huge list. I contacted that list, right? I recruited through them. I constantly expanded my list. I'll give an example of constantly expanding the list. This is when I was I had made a decision, mind you. Before then, I had never made 6 figures. I was never considered a successful network marketer. But where I made a decision, that's it, I'm done. I'm going to be a successful network marketer in this business. And I went AOMA, all out massive action. I'd be driving. Back then, a company called Monavie was around. I don't know if anybody remembers Monavie, this big old juice bottle, looked like a nice wine bottle, right? Monavie was around, and I saw this lady with a Monavie sign and phone number in the back. Okay? Oh, Matthew says he sold that too. It tasted good. And I like their energy drink. They had a really good energy drink. So Monavie, right? and she had a sign of Monavie in the back. I'm driving. I see her in her car. We're both on the road driving. I grab my phone. I shouldn't have done this, but I grab my phone and I got my eyes on the road and I'm typing in the numbers on my phone, right? I call the lady while I'm driving. She answers the phone, say, hey, how you doing? I actually am driving behind you. I saw your phone number. I see that you're with Monavie. She says, oh, yes. Hi, how are you? Right? She's happy. Like, oh, somebody's interested. I'm good. I'm good. Hey, listen, the reason why I'm calling you is because, you know, I know a little bit about Monavie. I don't know a whole lot. I'm also, you know, full transparency. I'm also a network marketer. I'm always open to meeting with other people from other companies and seeing if we can learn from each other, right? I'm open to sitting with you and you show me what you got. I show you what you got. If nothing else, we make a friendship and we network. You guys see where I'm going with this? That's a different kind of hustle. And that's a hustle that I'm very proud of. I'm that guy. What my question for you is, are you that guy or that girl? Or will you become that guy or that girl? What it takes to win, go and study the top of the top. Go study the Serena Williams twins. Who has seen the the Williams sisters movie? Who has seen the Williams sisters movie? Somebody put the name in the chat. I forget the name. I recommend you go watch that movie. The father of those girls knew what it took to win. You need to know what it takes to win. That's why you got to listen to people that have made the six figures and the multiple six figures, because you cannot stay in the same mental state if you listen to people that have made millions. You're going to have to elevate. Your expectations of yourself, your expectations of what it takes to win are going to elevate you. Then you're going to get ideas like, oh, I never thought about that. I've seen people that I could have just called. For example, we got any network. There's another lady, Herbalife lady. Same thing. I see her number and her sign of Herbalife. I give her a call, same script. Hey, how you doing? I'm driving next to you. I saw your number and I thought I'd give you a call. You're with Herbalife, right? Says, yes. How are you? Spanish speaking lady. So I'm talking to her in Spanish, right? I say, and I tell her the same thing. Look, full transparency. I'm in network marketing as well. I know about Herbalife. I don't know about all the products and whatnot, but we're in network marketing. I'm open to networking. I very often, will meet with people at a Starbucks or whatever. Show me what you've got. I show you what I've got. If nothing else, we become friends. We network. Maybe I could use some of your products. Maybe you can use some of my products. You open to that? I got another guy. One of my buddies, his name is Ivan. He was with a company called Nerium, skincare company. I was at a Barnes & Noble. I saw his card in one of the personal development books. That's one of the ways he would prosper. He'd leave his business cards on personal development books. I called him. I knew what Nerium was. Same pitch. We met at a Starbucks. I let him go first. By the way, let them go first. Because the last presentation is a more lasting presentation. The more mentally lasting presentation, right? So I let him go first. He goes first, and I show him mine. He showed me skincare. I showed him healthy coffee. Healthy coffee made more sense to him and to me that day. I said, I think skincare is great. I'm sure the product works great. My product works great as well. The difference is that, can I be perfectly honest with you, Ivan? By the way, this is a golden nugget. Ask this question. This is a good closing question. Can I be, perfectly honest with you? Yes. Now they're giving you permission to go ahead and gut punch them a little bit, to go ahead and, give them some hard truths. I say, Ivan, can I be, perfectly honest with you? Ivan says, yes. I say, what I see here is that your product, I've heard it's great and I believe it's great. The problem is that it is an extra expense. Most people are not used to spending $150 on skincare, especially men like me. Maybe women, but most men I know are not. Coffee is an existing expense that 70% of people have not only an expense, but an addiction to it. You're a Latino guy. I'm sure all of your Latino family drinks coffee every day, right? 3 times a day. Ivan says, yes. I said, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Long story short, I'm one of my top guys in that company. You know why? Because I got that dog in me. I've got that dog in me. Ask Gabby, Ivan Bracamontes. She knows him. He went to the presentation for the Mentor Factory. He was there. He hasn't signed up yet. You know why? Because he loves products. He's a product guy, like health products. If we were selling healthy products, that dude would have been here from day one. Okay, but we're gonna recruit him eventually. It's just how it goes. See, I know that eventually it's just how it goes, right? I'm gonna prospect my people until they buy or until they die, and I hope that doesn't sound insensitive. It's not meant to sound insensitive, right? How many of you guys are picking up some stuff here? I hope you guys are picking up some stuff. Okay. You have to ask yourself, the income that you want to make in this business, the income that you want to make in this business, are you the person that deserves that income? In order to have something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. In order to have something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done. So some of you guys have to take it to the next level. Some of you guys are not operating at the level that you need to be operating at. I know I got that dog in me. So here's a golden tip I'm going to give you. Time block. Once you make your list, and you're always adding to your list, you raise your awareness, right? You're, meeting people here and there, right? There's call these people, time block. Let's say from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., I'm going to make no less than 20 phone calls with the proper scripts that are taught to me, which we'll go through some of them, and with the attitude. Write this down. I train on this all the time, but I guarantee some of you guys have heard it 5 times. You still don't got it. You got to hear it over and over and over, over and over and over. There are two things you can control. Who could tell me what those are? Put it in the chat. There's only 2 things that you can control. What are those things? I want to see who's paying attention. And this will be an example of I say it all the time. That doesn't mean that you get it just because I say it. That's why training, ladies and gentlemen, training is something you do, not something you did. Tuesday and Thursday business presentations are something you do, not something you did. The amount of members that we have here, ladies and gentlemen, there is no reason why we shouldn't have 100 people every Tuesday and Thursday. If you are selfish, I want you to put in the chat, I am selfish. If you are selfish, I want you to put in the chat that the words, I am selfish. Whoever is selfish, I want you to put that in the chat. Let's see. And if you are and you admit it, kudos to you. And I'm not judging you if you are. If you are selfish, I'm not judging you. For the record, it's an experiment I'm working on. Okay. Okay. Check this out. If you have Tuesday and Thursday, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern available, and you choose not to make it because of staying inside of your comfort zone, or because you don't have a guest, or because you don't have a guest and you don't have any team members there, but yet you want to succeed in the business, that right there is selfish. Now, if you can't make Tuesday and Thursday because you're working, you got legitimate reasons why you can't make it, I'm not going to eat your lunch for it, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to tell you something that was taught to me about 24 years ago. You attend every business presentation and training for the next 5 years without fail. Guest or no guest, you are there front and center with your camera on. Oh, by the way, back then, I'm telling you with your camera on, back then, there's no choice of camera on or not. And by the way, it was suited and booted. It was in-person Monday training for 2.5 hours, suited and booted, paid $11 to get in. So I would drive from Southgate, California to LAX, by the LAX to the Proud Bird Hotel in a suit and tie, paid $7, I think it was, $7 to get in for 2.5 hours training Monday. Y'all have a training at 6 p.m. free. You could be in your pajamas. without brushing your teeth yet while you're eating dinner. And some people still miss. You could be eating peanut brittle with your camera off, in your pajamas, haven't brushed your teeth, drinking a coffee, and some of you guys still make an excuse why you don't make it to training. Some of you on Tuesday and Thursday don't make it because of, let me tell you something. To be successful in this industry, you got to be selfless. You've got to be selfless. You got to attend. Because imagine you got two powerful guests and everybody else decides to be selfish. Now the attendance that is small. The energy is small. The speaker feeds off of the people. The speaker's presentation is lacking because of it. And your two key prospects don't get on. Don't join the business. They didn't see enough value. They didn't see enough people. They didn't see enough excitement. You would feel that's not fair. But if we all are on the same page and we all are like, hey, listen, if I don't have a guest, the meeting needs me. If I got a guest, me and my guests need the meeting. We are showing up regardless. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to start blowing through some of this information. So step number 4, don't prejudge. Step number 1, active candidate list. Step number 2, constantly expand the list. Step number 3, raise your awareness. Always be looking for new prospects. Step number 4, don't prejudge anybody. Do not prejudge anybody. Step number 5, network on purpose. You got to network. Join a BNI group. Join a Chamber of Commerce group. Be networking on purpose. Find places to meet new people. And guess what? You're going to expose people. Yes, be that guy. Be that girl. I meet my friend George, let's say at a networking event. Hey, George, are you a realtor? Yeah. Okay. Hey, let me get your card, bro. And George gives me his card. Sounds good. Where do you normally work? Do you work all of California, Southern California? Oh yeah, I work, anywhere you need, whatever the case, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I'll definitely keep you in mind, man. Even if I don't expose him there, you know what I'm doing? I'm growing my list. I may not expose him there. Depends. What if he asks, what do you do? Oh, I own a solar business. Yeah, I own a nationwide solar company. We offer solar, security, and water. What if his interest is piqued? Now it could become an exposure. But guess what? Because I'm networking on purpose. Because remember I said in the beginning, you got to make a decision. What is a decision? Are you a professional recruiter? Are you a professional networker? Do you have your business hat on? Have you raised your awareness? Some of you guys haven't even made a decision that you're going to go to the top. Some of you guys haven't made a decision that you're going to recruit 20 and 20. You want to build a huge organization? Here's what you should focus on. 2020 vision. Write that down. 2020 vision. 20 frontline directs on the left team, 20 frontline directs on the right team. So now I know what some of you guys are thinking. That's 40 recruits myself. That's a lot of people. I'm here to tell you this. First of all, it's doable. Second of all, it is certainly less doable if you don't even write it down and you don't even have it on your radar. It is way less doable. If I drop you off in the middle of Texas somewhere and I tell you I'll meet you in Houston and give you no map and you don't know your way around Texas, you're not going to get there. Or if I drop you off in the middle of Texas and say, hey, I'll meet you in a week and you don't know where in Texas we're going to meet, good luck. But even if I say, hey, you're in the middle of Texas, in a week, we meet in Houston at the Galleria. Even if you don't know your way around Texas, guess what? You got a framework like where you're going to go. And that's how your mind works. Your mind works 20 left, 20 right. Make a decision that I'm going to build a business because that's where freedom is. That I'm going to recruit a lot of people. I have the ability to recruit a lot of people, right? And I recruit people every month, by the way. The last 10 people I recruited, I probably gave away 8, 9 of them. Okay. So here's the deal. Was it always like that? No, it wasn't always like that. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips. Number one, the next tip I'm going to give you is you have to get good at constantly exposing 2 to 4 people per day. Figure out a way, find a way, start with your warm market to expose 2 to 3 people per day. Have conversations 2 to 3 people per day. You could do that through your warm market, through cold market, through ads, whatever you got to do. Facebook, social media, contact people. Social media, I mean, how many of you guys are adding 10 people per day? You could, for example, you could go on social media, let's say Facebook or Instagram, add 10 people per day. When they, let's say I add you on Facebook and you accept my friend request. I get a notification that you accepted my friend request. I could go in there and say, hey, Rod, thanks for accepting my friend request. And I already checked out your profile. I see, Rod, that you are in, for example, the insurance industry. I hope you have your best year yet, brother. I'm starting a dialogue. I'm not pitching them right then and there, but I'm starting a dialogue. I am networking on purpose. Because you know why? My identity is I'm a professional networker. I'm a professional recruiter. And one of the best tips that I've ever given people is this. I think of myself like a machine. I am a machine that's programmed to do money-making activities. If I program, I use this example all the time. If I program this phone, okay? If I program this phone for the alarm to go off at 6 in the morning every day, Monday through Sunday, guess what it's going to do? It's going to go off every day, Monday through Sunday, because it is a machine that's programmed to do a task. I look at myself as a machine that's programmed to do a task. I don't care about my emotions. I don't care about my feelings. I care about my goals and my tasks, my promises to myself. Most people's self-confidence is low because because their promises to themselves are not even kept. Your subconscious knows, yeah, right. Your conscious mind and your subconscious mind knows, yeah, right. Or they know, oh, this is what we're doing. We're going to be at the gym at 6 in the morning. We're going to make 10 phone calls tomorrow. We're going to go to this event, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And the people around you know that as well. Let's keep going. I already went through some of these. So now the next one is most of you guys have not done your launch event. Let's talk about recruiting. If you are in the business and you want to build a team, you must do a launch event. It is easier now more than ever before. Before we used to call them PBRs, private business reception, where I got a PBR, I invite people to my home. One of the leaders in the team come down to my home and do a presentation for 3 to 10 people that I invited that showed up to my home. Those still work, don't get me wrong. Nowadays, we do them via Zoom though. And it is easier. It is easier. I'm doing one. Matter of fact, Robert Robledo's on here. Robert, when is the one that we've got programmed? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? When is it? And I've got another one in an hour, 11:45. So by 11:05, I'm leaving. By 11:05, I'm leaving. And I'm going to be at an office in Santa Ana, California at 11:45 to present for that office. It's a call center office. Okay. For example, I want Roxy and Matthew to unmute themselves. It's next Thursday. Next Thursday, the 6th, I'm going to be presenting for them. At what time is it, Vero and Robert? I just know, listen, as a team builder, I work with the willing. There's 3 rules to building. Prospecting is everything. Fortune is in the follow-up. Work with the willing. These are the 3. Prospecting is everything. The fortune is in the follow-up. And then number 3, work with the willing. I recruit a whole bunch of people. X amount of people, the majority of people are going to quit. Key is this. Let me give you the key. I recruit Johnny. Let's just say, I'm just making up a name. Let's call him Joe. I recruit Joe. Joe has an invisible expiration date. My job is to get to Joe's contacts on his phone. His phone is his phone. It ain't my phone. Those are his contacts. They're not my contacts. So while Joe has an invisible expiration date, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 6 months. I don't know. So what is my job? My job is, Joe, let's go ahead and get you through the fast start training, certification, do your game plan, launch event. When he's new, he's at his highest level of enthusiasm, lowest level of knowledge. I want to make sure he gets trained properly, knows the scripts properly. If I have to meet with him via Zoom or in person to practice the scripts with him, help him make his list, call the list, schedule a launch event, call the list. Hey, Wednesday, 6 p.m., I'm going to have 7 to 10 people on, friends, family members, co-workers, so you could come on and present. Sounds good. You as a leader have to make things happen. Top leaders and top performers make things happen in environments and with people that normally those things wouldn't have happened if you weren't involved. You got to make it. I want you guys to write in the chat, I am that guy or that girl. You're a girl, right? I'm that guy or I'm that girl. Because you got to decide that you are indeed that guy or that girl. Okay? Notice the difference. It isn't like, here's a fast start training. Let's, go ahead and watch it. And then you forget about it for 2 weeks. Say, hey, by when are you going to watch it? Let's get together, do your game plan interview, and open up your calendar, Johnny. What day are we doing your launch event, brother? Monday. Monday is a good day because we do the launch event Monday. Some of those people that get excited, we sign them up. They can invite some of their guests to the Tuesday business overview. But you got to make things happen. Right now, do we have Roxy and Matthew on?
Yeah.
Roxy, tell me about your experience with your launch event. Tell me over the last 2 months, what has your experience been, amount of people signed up, and how you're doing that?
Well, that took me to Builder 1000.
So congrats. Yeah, that's right. She's a Builder 1000. Give her a round of applause. So Roxy's a Builder $1,000 a month residual income. Matthew, her boyfriend, who she recruited, is a Builder 500 on his way to Builder 1000. And guess what? He's a mentor with the company. Are all these people that are coming in, Roxy? By the way, is your camera on, Roxy? Because I can't find you.
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh, okay. Somebody bring her on. Let me remove the spotlight from me. Okay. Oh, there you are. So, Roxy, has all of this recruits brought leads to you guys so you guys could close?
1000%. Yeah, it's
So
like,
tell me about what you've done and some of what you've experienced. Team growth, sales, mentor sales from your team. Give us a little bit about that.
yeah. So first I want to start off with, like, I've never been into network marketing, so I'm completely new to this, and I've been learning as I go, and I think one of the things that was happening to me at the beginning was I was worrying about perfection, and I just stopped worrying about perfection. What I started doing was operating from my heart and operating from my grind and how bad do I want this, So I started learning the system. Pretty much Build has created the whole system. All we have to do is literally plug in and plug in and plug in. So what the routine we have going on now, as soon as we get a new recruit, we onboard. Okay, so what does that look like for us? We take him into the back office and we go tab by tab by tab by tab, explaining exactly how to use the back office, because I didn't know how to use the back office. So, and then once I do that, we game plan. Okay, now that you know what we have to offer, where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? Do you want to do referral based? Do you want to become a solo pro? What do you want to do, right? So we game plan. Then after we game plan, then we set a launch date. Okay, then and it's just like, now that's been our system. And then after we launch them, then we're tap rooting. So then we get new people coming in. And now that's been the system going. And then
you repeat the process.
Yes, it's recruit, onboard. When you're onboarding, you want a game plan. And when you're game plan, you want to set a date for a launch. Okay.
Right.
And then I am helping create the flyers as well. And just put it on Instagram, let people know what you're doing is what I say, so, and then from there, we just start getting a bunch of leads. Like Matthew is overloaded with leads right now. We don't have the need to, to be looking for leads out there. Actually, we need to start distributing leads because we have too many, which is a good abundance. So, and
that's a good problem to have.
yeah, so that's our system right now. It's pretty much.
And here's what happens, Roxy. Let's say you take somebody, you launch their event, they have some guests on Zoom, you guys present, some people get recruited through there, and then you repeat the same process with those people.
Yes. Yes.
Now you're tap rooting, you're going through them, yes. And the goal is you want to dig 5 to 7 levels deep. So if I bring Roxy, I want to recruit a couple folks through Roxy. I want to recruit a couple folks through them. I want to dig 5 to 7 levels deep. Here's a pro tip, team building pro tip. once you dig 5 to 7 levels deep, you find a runner.
Yeah.
You find another person like a Roxy or a Matthew or a Robert Robledo or a lot of you guys here, right?
Like
Serious
Jenny.
people about the business.
Oh, like Jenny. Jenny, she's on her way to Vegas. They got a booth for one of her recruits in Vegas at a big event in Vegas. You know?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I know Jenny's on fire. You know, I met them at the event this last week. One of her guys did 10 sales in January. One of the new recruits that came in January ended up the month. He happens to be a solar pro with 10 sales in January. Is that right?
Yep.
So, you know, working works. Now, here's the deal. Some of you guys are going to do some events, launch event, one person, 2 people show up instead of the estimated 5 to 7. Have you had that happen where somebody says, I'm going to have 5 to 10 and then nobody shows up or 1 or 2 people show up?
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2. Yeah. But don't let that get to me because I've, you know, I'm in the trading industry where when I started teaching and I used to do monthly seminars, sometimes I would only have 4, but guess what? I would have, out of those 4, there was 2 that were key, you know? So out of those 2 could be key, or that 1 could be key, you know? So I don't underestimate 1 or 2 people, you know? They're on for a reason. The fact that they're on for a reason. And when you take them to the onboarding process and they really see the back office and everything we have, I'm like, okay, who do you think could benefit out of this? Like out of this amazing opportunity for $99 a month.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You know, you said so many things that are so key, but here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. It is hard. Let's say, for example, you don't do your launch event and eventually you recruit somebody because not everybody you recruit is going to be through the launch event. If you want to be successful, most people you recruit are not going to be through your launch, but it's hard for me to tell Roxy do a launch event if I never did a launch event. You know what I'm saying? So like, you need to lead by example. Maybe yours is successful. Maybe yours is not very successful, but you did it. You can't, now it's easier for you to say, this is what I did, right? Now, of course, now here's the deal. You don't just have to do one launch event. If I do a launch event this week, I could do another launch event next week, especially if you're making your list long and strong. And some of you guys are going to get off the blocks faster than others. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Comparison is a thief of joy. I'm going to leave it with this, guys. Comparison is a thief of joy. Okay. Some of you guys are going to grow faster than others. The key is this. I've been a part of network marketing companies where I was one of the slowest to get off the block. But over the course of 3 years, 5 years, I smoked people that smoked me in the beginning. People that smoked me in the beginning, 2-3 years down the line, I was smoking them. Because one of the things that was true about me is that I was consistent with plugging into the system. I was at every training and every presentation, and I was prospecting 2 people per day, 2 people per day, 2 people per day. That's why I'll leave you guys with this final tip. And thank you, by the way, very much, Roxy. I'll leave you guys with this final tip. Okay. Don't prematurely leave your job. Build this business part-time until you get the hang of this business, until this business income replaces or at least matches what you currently are making. There's nothing worse than trying to build and recruit with commission breath, trying to sell, build, recruit with commission breath. That means I got to pay my bills. I got to make a sale. I got to get some recruits. Commission breath. People, one of the big mistakes that people make in network markets, they go full-time prematurely. Don't do that. Okay. Do it part-time. Not only that, by you doing it part-time, it is more duplicatable. You are more relatable to people. So it is more duplicatable, but you got to go with the consistency. Here's what we're going to do. Next week, we're going to do another one of these. I know that I mentioned it's not going to be every week, and it's probably not. We will do another one of these trainings next week. It's either going to be Thursday or Friday. Stay tuned. That will be announced. We will go through more scripts next week. I'll go through more scripts next week. But like I said, I wanted to set the tone for what this is. How many of you guys got value from today's training? We're going to set the tone. There'll be other days we're going to go through scripts. There'll be days where we're just going to have a mastermind conversation. There'll be times where we're just going to get on and we're going to talk. We're going to interview people like Roxy. What are you doing? You guys are going to ask questions. There's going to be times we're going to role play. Oh, that didn't work. What'd you say? Run me through what you said, what they said. Well, here's what I would have said, Ignacio. Here's what you should have said. Here's what you should have left this out and you should have added this, right? So anyways, I hope you guys got some value. Let's go out and crush it. Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 can be your year if you decide. I don't care what your year is off to. Roxy's year is off to a great year. Roxy and Matthew, they got momentum going. You can create momentum. But the key is the consistency. We got the best opportunity, and let me tell you something, it's only going to get better. And I've been around for 24 years in this industry. I've seen zeros go to hero, and I've seen heroes, what people think are heroes, studs crushing it, go to nothing because for different reasons. They got to their head, they stopped being consistent, they got into management mode, they were in first gear, they went to second gear, they stopped recruiting and doing the things that got them there. And their team said, hey man, you're not leading by example, and their team crumbled. But then I saw people that were nobodies, and that I don't mean that in a bad way, that ended up becoming somebodies. Because I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody is self-made, but only the successful people admit it. Everybody is self-made. Whether you get up to be a millionaire or you get up to do nothing, we are all self-made. So it's up to us what we do. So anyways, I hope you guys got value from this. I got to go because I got to go show the plan to a group of people on Johnny's team and Earl's team. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you.